Welcome to the Feral Minds Podcast. You are right where you need to be, and we are glad you're here. Come seek with us as we laugh at what we have known and find direction from what our curiosities demand we learn.
All right. Deuces Gone Wild. Well, we may or may not have had a little deuce-related break in the action right there. And by deuce, I'm talking the number 2. We're talking Pooh Town. Shit happens. Maybe it happened.
Are you sure we know what he's talking about?
But I'm going to tell you.
Try some more.
Man, if you haven't experienced an inconvenient poo, then you just haven't lived long enough.
Yeah.
It's part of life, man. I don't know about you guys, but I've had inconvenient ones. This would have maybe inconvenient, maybe not.
We've all had them, and they're really funny when they happen. Right
after,
not when.
After.
Okay, that's a good point. That's a good point. So,
yeah.
I had a Deuces in the Wild. I mean, you need to fix your mic there. You need a pause for that, or the set's falling apart on you. Who set this place up?
I don't know, but they used some duct tape.
So here's my Deuces in the Wild. So I'm waiting tables. I'm going to say I'm 20 because why not? Somewhere in that time frame, I'm waiting tables. I'm closing the store for a night. And so the game when you're closing at the end, you're doing some closing work in the kitchen, and then the people out front are getting crappy service. Like you go into a restaurant late at night, you're getting crappy service because the servers are rolling silverware. They're doing all their closing duties. And so as a server, you kind of like punt on those last couple tables. Like you're not going to rock their world.
Especially if you've already made your money.
More than likely, they're going to tip you well because they know they're stretching you. And so it's all universally agreed on. And so I've got one table left at the front of the store. I'm in the back doing my closing duties. And I'm coming out to check on them. And it's a daughter, a younger child, and what appears to be a grandpa. And she comes up to me and says, hey, my father's had an accident. I need your help. And I said, okay, how can I help you? And she goes, well, he didn't make it to the bathroom. And I thought, oh, okay.
What was he headed there for?
Do you want me to like get you some towels? And she goes, no, it's over in the floor by the bathroom. And I'm like, oh, okay. I said, well, we'll take care of it. Let me go talk to my manager. And so I cut a loop in the restaurant so I can see the crime scene, right? Mm-hmm. So I got to go over and validate these facts. Before I take it to my lieutenant, like I got to go validate what exactly I got going on. So I swing around the corner, man, and there it is in the middle of the carpet, man. Like a swollen caterpillar just laid out there. And I walk past it and I go, I've seen a lot of things. I've never seen just a raw turd in the middle of a restaurant. And so I go back to the manager and I'm like, what do you think we should do? And he goes, well, I get it's your table. You can clean it up, right? And I'm like, nah, well, bro, like
it's not at the table.
I'm making $2.13 an hour working for a tip that I'm not really working that hard for. So I'm not going to pick that up. And he's like, no, dude, you'll put a plastic glove on. It won't be. So he's now selling me
how great it's going to be
on
to clean
turd removal that I'm now. He's training me. Technically, he's training me in how to remove a turd.
He's prepared you for it.
And so I finally just say, okay, I'll do that. Right, I'll do that. I go back out to the table, and she's very apologetic, and I bring him a to-go bag because that's what you do after you crap the floor at a restaurant. You go ahead and ask for the to-go bag. It's kind of even a silly question. So I bring him the to-go bag. Meanwhile, the crime scene's still active. The crime scene is waiting over there above water, waiting. And they take their meal, and she tips me really big. She gave me a $50 tip, right? You go back to 99,
yeah,
that's a $100 tip, and she feels it and feels the strain that I probably have to deal with this. So I am now facing the fact that I got to go handle this matter.
You've been paid for it now. You're really got to know this.
It's about the time to get it on my hands. But I've always been a entrepreneurial, enterprising individual. So I just think, well,
you'll make turd on the floor in enterprising endeavor.
Maybe I could pay somebody to come pick this turd up. And so I go back to the dishwasher, whose name's Rosa, and Rosa and I had we say about as much as you can say. We don't share language. Like that's how we talk over dirty dishes, like thumbs up and head nods. And Rosa, I go ahead and pay Rosa to pick it up. She gladly engages in the offer to remove that turd at a small price.
That's probably pushing it.
But here's where the entrepreneur in me really came out early. I gave Rosa $20. I kept 30 for myself.
Well, it's the power of the middleman.
I saw an opportunity. Now, I'm not very proud of that any more than it made a story, but it did work out.
Hey, it happens.
She got a $20 tip. I got a $30 tip, and
Life happens,
everybody
man. Yeah.
everybody was happy with the situation. And I don't know that Grandpa probably didn't know any better, man. He was wondering why they wanted him to take his hamburger home. He was like, "Oh, we just got here. Like what?
It's not time to go. I'm still eating. I just made room. I'm ready to chow down."
Had those challenges at some point. It's just human nature.
Yeah, it is
man.
human. It's human.
just
And it's always funny. It's always funny.
after the fact.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah.
After the fact. You know, I was at a party, and this has been years ago when I was single. My friends were single. All night party. Terrible thought. But anyways, the next morning, this guy comes in. He's like, hey man, somebody pooped in the floor. And I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, somebody pooped in, and we're at another guy's house. He's like, somebody pooped in the floor. And he said, it wasn't me. And I'm like,
that kind of goes under the smellers, the fella.
Strange statement.
This is a declaration.
Yeah,
This is letting you know.
strange
For the
statement.
record, it wasn't me.
He said, I just woke up and it was laying there. I'm like, okay, well, somebody's got to clean it up. He goes,
This is a
man,
turd
it wasn't me.
mystery.
He said, I picked it up and smelled it, and it wasn't mine. No, dude, at this point, I'm still fuzzy, right? This is a long night, early morning, not a conversation that I was expecting in the morning. I'm like, well, what'd you do? He goes, I set it back down.
Whoa.
At this point, I'm like,
You already had it picked up.
He had no gloves on his hand either, right?
go home now.
Oh, I know the scent I leave. You'll
I don't know what happened. at
There's
the
a
end of it,
turd on
man.
the floor. Don't
I
worry,
left.
it's not mine. I smelled it.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go.
Put it back.
Maybe he didn't pick it up though. Maybe he just got
Who do he
down
put it back
on his
down?
hands and his. Oh, did he pick it up?
He said he picked it up. He put it
picked
back
it up.
down.
Oh,
He goes, I picked it up and smelled it. He said it wasn't mine. I put it back down. So he replaced the object of affinity back in its original position, like somebody was going to come in and claim it. I left that there
Dang it,
last
there's my
night.
turd.
Oh,
I'm so
man.
glad somebody didn't run off with this.
Wow.
Last time I had to chase a turd burglar, it got nasty.
So was it him or not?
I'm
I still
assuming
don't
not.
like.
Yeah.
When
It
he
had to
brought
be.
it forward, it had to be him, right?
The smeller's the fella. It's the person that brings it up.
Because you're conscious about what you did.
Yeah,
So
the
you're going
responsibility.
to make a move to engage
Spin
whatever's
that.
coming your
Spin
way.
that
Yeah,
out.
I
like
don't
I'm going
know,
to
man.
move first.
I had a different one where this guy was trying to be stealthy. He was trying to be a turd stealth whenever he rolled up in the spot. This wasn't me. I got
Not
the
a
phone
turd
call.
burglar, turd stealth.
This was a delivery driver.
Okay.
And some of what we're talking about, these situations you get stuck in, like it's your service providers. You know, you're out trying to provide
Yeah,
a
that's a
service
good point.
to the public, and
Yeah.
sometimes the public isn't the best place to get stuck in a
Hey, the
situation.
human body does what it does, man.
Shit happens.
Yeah.
And it happened to this guy, unbeknownst or not ready for it, not in a good place, goes into a customer location, doesn't get to the back, doesn't get his pants off, apparently, after I find the story later. Because all I did was get a call from the customer that says, excuse me, one of your delivery drivers came in here and took a crap on our floor and then left.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, at first you go with disbelief. Like, there's no way.
Did
a
they get their package, though? Like, what is it?
Yeah,
What's
that's
it
what
really
I said.
about?
Did you sign for your delivery?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We're delivery drivers. Like, you got some extra.
We
You're
put a
welcome.
line in there for you to sign for the turd.
Yeah, you don't need to sign for that. You can just have
That's
it.
free.
But I didn't think really it had happened. I was like, surely, like, this is a professional. You know, they have pride, a lie. Like, they're not just going in. So I call up the driver. I'm like, hey, man, I just got this accusation that you put. He's like, oh, well, yeah, that did. And
I had to keep moving. Had a quote in me,
but
boss.
at least it wasn't as bad as like he didn't walk in, drop trowel. And just,
Deliberate.
But more is he was trying to get in, he just couldn't quite make it. It started just rolling out the bottom of his pants.
Oh, man.
As he's trying to
How
get
embarrassing.
It is, but
Poor
man,
guy.
and no matter how embarrassed you are, you gotta take
You
care
got to
of
take
it.
ownership.
Because now
that is mine.
well, as soon as he told me that, I said, look, you're going back to clean it up.
What else could you? Wait, he was still active?
Yeah,
Still
it's
active crime
active
scene.
crime scene, as you'll call it. He's left. Like, this is an hour and a half later.
Whoa.
And I've got to call him to go back, do his walk of shame
Yeah.
into there to clean it back up. And I guarantee that guy never crapped
I
on
would
the
have.
floor
Yeah, I would have
again.
defended
Or
that.
at least if you're going to crap on the floor, you take care of your own.
What if he-
and that might have been where your friend was making dang sure.
I
It's
think-
like,
I think-
I've had this problem before. I'm going to make sure I never pick up a turd that ain't mine
I
again.
don't know. Maybe there's a bandit running around.
I think you would have stopped and cleaned up had he have not known. You would have yelled at him, like, boss. I would have cleaned up my mess, but I knew you were going to scream at me.
I didn't have time.
Well, now you
Yeah.
got yelled at and you had
I'm
to go
missing
clean
my
it up.
time.
Yeah.
I got packages to deliver. This
Yeah.
is real.
Yeah, that's what their main concern is. No, your concern like that, it's out the window. When shit happens, it's got to happen.
It's got to happen.
And you just try to make the most of it.
Own it.
Sometimes
Hopefully
the
end up with a
situations
smile.
aren't
Own
great.
it. Try to make it as easy as possible for everybody involved.
That's some experience I'd like to pass on to the youth.
Create a podcast so you can tell the story, so your mom will be proud of you. And that's what we'll put it at the end of the show, right?
Yeah.
We'll put it at the end of the show.
Go ahead
there
and
you go.
Air things out.
Yeah.
You know, put
Yeah.
everything out there.
You should.
Nothing to hide here. This
should.
is a show of shame.
Let it breathe.
Yeah.
Yeah, let it breathe. Put some water on it, but let it breathe.
Yeah, the water keeps the smell down.
That's just science.
Well, and also, man, you got to watch out for the courtesy flush.
It's important.
All right.
We would like to thank you for listening to the Feral Minds podcast. Hopefully we triggered some curiosity that will have you seeking more. Remember, your mind is meant to run. Slap some sneakers on that bad boy and take it around the block. If you'd like to connect with us or enlist our feral thoughts on a problem in your life, visit us on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or at theferalminds.com. Also remember, our thought line is always available. 24/7, we don't even allow it to sleep. And we want to hear from you. That number is 866-340-3394. Again, that number is 866-340-3394. We look forward to hearing from you.